Mike, you had a 2-1 win against Dorking Wanderers this afternoon. What was your take on the game?
I think went through every emotion that you could do in the game. We knew it was a big game, you know, making that gap bigger between us and them and the teams below us. So we said it was a must-win for us. We're treating it as like a cup final. I felt that, you know, you saw the lads how we came out, and you know, they were full of energy, they were front foot. We wanted to stop them from playing because, you know, credit to them, a really good football inside. I think they're second in the league in terms of possession. But listen, we were really good today. I think we sort of had a little bit of momentum late in the game where we conceded a sloppy goal, which made it interesting. And had an heart attack late on. It was that stressful. But listen, the lads dug in, and that was the main thing for us today.
Is there something to be said for the fact that, you know, a lot of people came into the game against Yeovil saying this is a big game, we need to win here, and the lads got over the line with a win, and again, a lot of people built up this game and the lads got over the line with a win again in terms of like the mentality in these kinds of fixtures.
Yeah, it's character-wise. I think you know, the biggest thing for us is we had a real clear game plan, and the first goal actually came from that in terms of getting it to the centre halves and then hitting the diags towards Manny and then getting runners off. So you know, the lads will have been feeling it. You know, it's emotions that we won't all know, but they'll have been feeling it today. But to go out and execute that game plan and drive the team and create that many chances was great from them. I think, you know, I think everybody knows they're a really close group in terms of how they are, and I think that last 10 minutes showed how close it was, because they were digging in for each other to say that momentum swung and they were throwing the ball in, and our aerial threat had come off the pitch. So really chuffed to bits for the lads in terms of sticking together and them showing the character to everybody. But the fans helped us massively as well. You know, the fans again, they were just like top draw. I think that's probably the best I've heard them in terms of encouraging the lads on late on, and that definitely helped us.
And that's probably showing a response to what they were seeing on the pitch. I mean, from the start, I think York looked to be on the front foot, putting a lot of pressure on the Dorking defence as well. So, I mean, was that part of the game plan today to press that high and put them under pressure?
Yeah, so I mean, there's been a couple of games where teams have done something slightly different against us. So when you look at the patterns of the opposition, you can usually see what they're doing, and that usually falls into some of the work that we do. But last couple of teams like Interim and a few others, when they've come here, they've done something slightly different. So how we like to set up is if we can't get pressure on the ball, is just make sure we're organised so we don't get picked off. Today we probably had a better idea in terms of how they are, because you know, they tend to play like that most of the game. So that allowed us to go and have a good front foot and like execute a good pressing game.
Yeah, and obviously it's mostly positives out of today, but do you have to maybe put just one mark against it in that we did concede the goal and made it a little bit nervous when we should have been comfortable?
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, you can look at it both ends, because we should have been, 3-0. I looked at, we should have been 3-0 up after 17 minutes. I think Macca said we should have been 2 up after 5. So, you know, you're looking at it and just thinking, you know, this could come back and haunt us. Again, I'd have to look at the goal where it come from. I know Ryan pulled off a really good save just before that, was a massive save. But listen, there's always going to be games, or near enough every game, momentum's going to swing, whether it's a little spell like that. And we know, obviously, being 2-0 up, you know, you concede a goal, you're going to be feeling a little bit more nervous. But they stuck together. The fans, I thought everybody was together in the stadium today, and you could feel that. And I think that sort of got us through.
Manny Duku was substituted off. He looked to go down with a bit of discomfort before the substitution. What's the initial assessment on that, and is there any other maybe little niggles or doubts that have been picked up from the game?
I've not had too much to sit down with the medical team yet, but I think from what I'm hearing, it's a bit of fatigue. I think probably the last couple of games he's worked his socks off in terms of pressing. You know, he won a lot of headers today. Again, he'll be disappointed that he didn't take more chances. Could have come off with an hat-trick, but ultimately we've spoke about managers trusting him and making sure that he worked hard, and he's done that. So I think it's just a little bit of fatigue.
And next up it's Wrexham away. They haven't dropped many points at home all season, but with a uplifting result to go into it on the back of, does that kind of take the pressure off a bit maybe?
Yeah, but we'll plan for every game, because we want to win every game. You know, we want to go and have a good go, and I think you know, we're just going to have a couple of days rest now, because like they say, the lads are feeling it. You could see some of the lads when we made the changes, they were feeling it as well. But for us, what a big opportunity. I think anything from this group, we know what they're like. We've competed against the best teams in the league, and I don't see that being any different next week.